How did the year 1942 see Brisbane and Fort Lytton add to their military defence and garrison?
So the year of 1942 saw much set in motion for the military disposition of Brisbane. The Land Warfare Centre was established in the Gold Coast hinterlands to prep soldiers heading off to fight in the jungles of the Pacific War. The naval batteries along Moreton Bay were reorganised and the ruse and skirmish batteries were put together. Fort Lytton saw its 4.7-inch quick-firing gun installed, and provisions were made for the twin 6-pounder to be installed there to protect against torpedo boat attack. The submarine nets and boom gate across the Brisbane River were also put into operation in 1942 to protect the newly arrived US fleet and its submarine arm stationed upriver. The formation of the Volunteer Defence Corps, a unit similar to the British Home Guard, which was nicknamed Dad's Army, was formed to operate the coastal and anti-aircraft defences of Australia, as well as to perform garrison duties, freeing up the militia and the army to perform combat duties overseas, as the Volunteer Defence Corps consisted of gentlemen too old to serve in the militia or in the regular army. The single largest change, however, was the arrival of the United States military. The United States South Pacific Command was set up in Brisbane, with General Douglas MacArthur rejecting UQ as a potential base due to the prominent bend in the river and setting himself up in Queen Street in the city. However, Sir Thomas Blamey, the Australian Chief of Army, did choose to headquarter himself at UQ. Why that is, it's not quite clear. The United States Army Air Force brought a huge number of fighters and bombers to Brisbane, although many stayed only for a short while before being transferred to more active areas of the Pacific theatre of war. However, many of these aircraft squadrons stayed for a longer period of time until the Imperial Japanese Navy was annihilated at Midway in 1943. To accommodate this influx of American aircraft, the RAF had both the air bases at Eagle Farm and Oakey. To accommodate this influx of American aircraft, the RAF had both the air bases at Eagle Farm and Amberley transferred to the United States Army Air Force 5th Air Force and shared Archerfield with the Americans, with Oakey later to be established as an overflow repair base. American fighter planes stationed in Brisbane were largely more outdated or difficult designs to operate, such as the P-40 Warhawk, which had been replaced by the Mustang in 1942, and the difficult to operate P-39 Aerocobra, which was unpopular due to its strange centre of gravity. However, very, very good designs, such as the P-38 Lightning, were also stationed in Brisbane for long periods of time. The bombers tended to be the A-24 Dauntless dive bombers, the A-20 Havoc attack planes, and B-25 Mitchell medium bombers. These planes were either thoroughly outdated or thoroughly outclassed. However, the B-17 Flying Fortress was often present for short periods of time throughout the war, and this was a very capable aircraft from start to finish. The two main fighter squadrons in Brisbane stationed long-term were the 8th and 58th Fighter Squadrons, respectively equipped with P-40s and P-39 Airacobras.